I'd like to take this opportunity in the program to, is there anyone who's got any questions? Okay, the gentleman up front, can you guys help me with the mic?
There's a lot of you. Hi, my name is Bulelani Mabasa. I am an entrepreneur, but my company is Pre-Revenue. So it's an investment company that is specifically for high learners from grade 0 to grade 12, right? So yeah, we help people prepare for varsity education, tertiary education basically. So we help them with tutoring and saving money. So yeah, I have quite a few questions, but yeah, I'll just ask one. The one I think is the most important to me. So how much of your success would you attribute to luck, and how much of your success would you attribute to your work ethic? Yeah, I think that's just about it.
Okay. Thanks for braving the first question. I didn't get what you were saying when you were facing that way, but one of the people I interviewed for my second book is Ali Mufaruki. He says success is predicated on 2.5 things or 3.5 things, and the half he says is luck. Because you don't know if you're going to be lucky. Luck finds you along the way. And the harder you work, the luckier you get. Because if you sit in your room and you don't go out to look for opportunities, you don't go out to look for people, like-minded people that you can learn from, you won't know anything more than what you knew when you woke up, because you woke up and did nothing. But the more you engage with people, the more you try things, the harder you work, the luckier you become. So I think, there are certain things in life, I was saying to Bulelani, small things in life matter. You arrive on time. When you arrive on time, for me, it says, you are taking me seriously. I was sitting at the back, looking at the caterer, the urn that she has and the cups that she has. I've never seen that urn. It's beautiful. Those cups are not your normal white cups. They are beautiful porcelain. You know what it says? I take pride in who I am and the service that I offer. So when you show up, make it count. Do it on time, give it your best shot, and then you become lucky.
Morning, everyone.
Hi.
We are Zamava Construction and Projects. We are female plumbers, hands-on. We do drainage, we do toilets, everything, blockages. Mama, it's an honor that you were a doctor during the time of apartheid. So your story resonates with us because we are trying to change the face of construction. Many construction companies, they are female run, but they are not hands-on. So we are looking to people like you. And what we just like to ask is, your different income streams, do they have to be income streams that are part of what you're doing, or can it be any income stream that you wanted to be your extra ones? Thank you very much.
Great. Wow, very proud of what you do. Changing the stereotypes and getting in there and doing it. It depends. What I do works for me, but it might not work for the next person, right? I started off as a GP, and then I realized that I actually need to supplement, and I did well, I did quite well. But I was like, okay, let me also dabble in the bakery, my husband and I. Let's buy property. Because we're not allowed to buy property in most areas, so I've always loved property because of that. And build something, rent it out, and those many different things. As a person, I love getting involved in many different things. The beauty with that is that sometimes the economy hits retail, if you're in retail, but maybe property is saved or health or pharmaceutical is saved, so it allows you to ride the storms. That's what is good about being involved in different things. But there's another way of doing it, where you say, I'm going to focus because we're all different. Other people tend to do better if they focus, then they can actually scale their businesses because they are focused. But the important thing that will differentiate you from the rest is that you put money aside and you look at the space of investments and you say, what can I invest in? Do I have the know-how to identify the spaces to invest in? Or do I need a financial advisor to actually say, if you have 100 rand, this is how I actually advise you to spread your risk. So each one of us, just doing a business, just doing one business and not being able to take some of the money because you've made some money, even if you take 10% or 20% of that and try and invest in another space, then you diversify risk and you increase your chances of sustaining the difficult times that we all know we all go through.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Priscilla Somonsemedi. I'm a book reviewer and I contracted my skills as a chemistry tutor to Kasimets. So, doctor, how do you handle your mental health or self-care, especially amongst entrepreneurs, when you are at a point whereby your pride is crumbling because you cannot afford a loaf of bread?
How do I handle mental health?
Yeah, especially at a point whereby you cannot afford a loaf of bread at that time.
Okay. I always believe, as I said earlier, there are three parts to a human being. It's body, mind, and soul. And as you know, the world over, mental health, actually sick mental health, if you know what I mean, psychiatric disorders, have a stigma attached to them. It is changing slowly, but it's not changing quickly enough. So it's important that you stay on top of your game, not just the cents that you count from the money that you make, but also every month, every year, you go and check your body. If you have issues, mental issues, you address them. It's different from where it was when I was your age. Like you actually hear people easily saying, my therapist said. So there is some change in terms of it's okay to have a therapist, a psychotherapist, because you're dealing with issues that you need a professional person to help you with. So my message, therefore, is that don't be shy to invest in yourself, especially when it comes to women, because we do for everyone and we forget in investing in ourselves. Just the peace of mind or just taking time out to thank yourself for the work that you do. So I think you become more holistic and more successful as a human being if you invest in yourself, body, mind, and soul. And by soul, I don't necessarily mean going to church. If you go to church, great. But be in touch with your maker all the time, not sometimes.
Hi everyone, my name is Vanessa Maluleke. I own Sana Organics. I'm an exhibitor. We're over there. It's just me. Make the products myself. It's all natural, all organic, and I concentrate on holistic health, mental health, self-care, and self-love, mostly for women because of, we know what we go through all the time. So, my question, Doctor, before actually I go into the question, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time out, for coming out, and we really appreciate the work that you do for women in business, economy, and health everywhere. And I'm actually going to take my child to Future Nation, so thank you very much. Thank you. So my question is, based on your background as a medical doctor and the work that you do in health, do you think that there's room in mainstream society for alternative health, for what I do? I mean, I work mostly with herbs and alternative organic self-healing type of products. So, and I know that the medical fraternity and pharmaceuticals really do shun upon, healing yourself, not using pharmaceuticals and medication and all of that. But personally, do you think there's room in mainstream, or do you think there's like a clash between the two?
Thanks for that question, and congratulations on the line of business. When I was younger, when I was at medical school, alternative health was frowned upon because of ignorance. And as time went on, we actually realized, even within the medical fraternity, that there is space for all the different types of health, as long as everyone does it professionally. And if you look at me as a person, I take supplements. And if those supplements are organic, even better, because as you understand the way the body functions better, as you understand the role of the different herbs better, then it empowers you to know this is the herb I need to take care of that problem with minimum side effects, because it's organic, it hasn't been introduced to synthetic products and things like that. So yes, there is a place, and even the medical fraternity has moved now to accept that there is a place for alternative health.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tao Momoti. I'm an engineer by profession, tail farmer. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you, Ma'am Judy, because when I was young in high school, it made me feel okay. It's okay to read as a young person, grew up in Soweto, because there was a stigma around when you carry books. It was as if like you're stupid or doing something that is weird. But following you and your husband made me feel okay to carry a book and go to school and read. So I just want to say thank you for that. Okay. For my question is, currently I run a agri company and agro-processing company. Currently going around looking for finance. So we've been approached by equity company, private equity funds. So I just wanted to find out, like, what are the things that I need to look out for, especially with private equity companies, if I'm looking to access those companies. What are the critical things that I need to look out for in terms of safeguarding my business? Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good question. And congratulations on venturing into agriculture. We need more young people in agriculture. The things that you should look for when you're looking for funding, it's always better to have debt because you retain ownership of your business, but sometimes you can't find debt. But also that debt, as hard as it seems to get, you want debt that's more affordable, you want debt that has terms that are not stringent, when you actually know I might not be able to pay this and my business will go under. And ideally, patient debt, especially as a startup, because if they can give you a 12-month window where you're not paying the capital, maybe you're just servicing the interest, look out for those. The second one is when it comes to private equity, just be careful, check the track record of the private equity company that you're talking to and compare them to others. The challenge has been with most private equities is that they have a short-term outlook. In 5 years' time, we need to come out with a 30% return. Obviously, that's difficult. And you also give away a piece of your business. Having said that, sometimes you have to give away a little bit so that you grow the pie into something bigger. So you actually have to just look at all the options that exist. The other thing, when you're looking, because it's a partner, someone that funds you is a partner. And if you were to have 3 potential funders in the room, and one understood the sector better than the other 2, I would be inclined to go to that one because they will understand and appreciate the challenges that you have. 1, 2, they'll be able to advise you on your business because sometimes you're not only just looking for funding, but you're also looking for mentorship, if you like, for someone who's walked the journey. So if a funder is also bringing the expertise in the space, it's actually two things that you cover, just going to one individual or entity. So you have to, but talk to other people in the game that have walked the path. Because sometimes some private equity, some debt funders look good on paper, they talk well, but if you go to people that have funded them to find out how did you find the experience, you learn so much. So do try and do your intelligence prior to committing to one.
I'm into music business. I help few schools around Soweto with music, and I have also opened few studios around the community that I live in. The aim is to actually like collect the kids from using drugs and all this stuff. So I'm fighting like the whole issue of drugs in the hood. So that's my aim, to collect the kids and raise them into the music industry and so that they can become the future leaders. And so my question is that for most of the job that I'm doing, like I'm not a professional in most of the jobs that I'm doing. And then my question is that like most of us do, like we get to a certain point whereby like then you get to a break point where you couldn't or you can't reach the point or the target that you have or that you have aimed for when you started, whatever you started. And then you realize that you are failing miserable in whatever that you're doing. Like what would you give, what advice would you give to somebody like me who's like aiming at something and then going for it and then still failing and then coming back again, failing again? What advice would you give?
Okay. When you fail, it's important to understand why you failed. And I always say to people, unless you leave your comfort zone and try and learn something new, all you know will always be what you know today, and that's a waste. So it's important that when you venture into a space and you don't know much about it, make it your business to know more about it, because the more you know, the better you'll be able to achieve. Because some of the mistakes are just based on ignorance. If you actually understood that area of business, you'd actually see that surely you don't do this, you don't mix this too, because it doesn't work. So I think it's important that you invest in yourself. Like in business, you go for courses where they teach you about business, because everyone in the room is an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur. You always unlock so much knowledge if you just take a course. And some of them are online, open source, you don't pay. So empower yourself with looking for the knowledge where you feel you are weak. Sometimes it's actually engaging with people who've done it and are successful in it, and humble yourself to say, this is one of the challenges I'm facing. Did you ever face this challenge, and how do you maneuver around the challenge? So I think you have to be open to learn new things, go out there and learn those things, but also learn from people who've walked the journey before you. And I just want to thank Bulelani for your foresight. This is amazing. And having been doing this for 5 years, I really wish you to grow from strength to strength. And I wish there were more young people like yourself who do this, open these opportunities. My handle on Instagram, I tend to check my Instagram more than Facebook. It's at Judy. I use my husband's surname for my Instagram. For Facebook, at Judy Dlamini, but it will take much longer on Facebook. For some reason, I like Instagram, it's instant, you know? On Twitter, it's Judy Dlamini again. But I really wish you all the best. And I think the strength of this economy, the success of this country relies on you And there is no shortcut. We have to give it our best shot because we are not defined by our color. We are not defined by where we stay. We are defined by what we're capable of. And I know we're capable to achieve so much if we just apply ourselves. Thank you.
All right.